keep saying that.
No, we are actually live now, Randy. No, we are. Hey, everybody. I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations.
Now you're just practicing.
And in today's live stream, we're working on some leather.
Doesn't say that you're not.
Randy, so help me. You were so mischievous this morning. I'm gonna shake you. Okay.
Come at me, bro.
Hey, Forges S'mores. Ooh. Buttons and Rubbish and Angela. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hey, Mia. Oh.
Where do you stay for? Oh.
What do you mean? So, okay. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are having an awesome whatever day it is. I think, yeah, it's a Thursday. Let me get some slippy slurps of coffee real quick.
Rebecca says eyeliners on point.
Oh, thank you. I started with a very little wing, but it kept being like, so they just kept getting bigger. And so pretty soon, like one of these days, I'm going to come on with like full on like kiss makeup or something. But,
Indeed. Thank you, Jen.
we started off this morning. We actually got up at like a reasonable hour. Yeah.
Well,
and
why did we do that?
Lots of reasons. There was a tornado last night. Not like here. We're fine. I guess I shouldn't. Clearly we lived. But no, last night at like 1 or 12:45 or something in the morning, there was like sirens are going off. Like I had just gotten out of the tub and was in my temple room, like doing my brain games on my tablet, and my phone freaks out because it's like, and it said something different than what it normally does. What was it? Immediate, urgent, emergency, like lots of very
immediate extreme alert.
And I was like, this is serious.
There is a tornado in your area.
Yeah, and
take
shelter now. So
and I was like, it ain't even raining.
Randy was getting naked to go take a shower, and I was getting dressed. We were running around the house like naked, closing all the windows because it was nice weather. So that was exciting. And then we hid in the basement for half an hour.
Like I was like, what's it talking about? And then it was just like
boom, right there on us. And no wind damage or anything. I was out in the garden this morning, and it was, oh, I'm sorry, Aaron. I hope you guys get to feeling better. Teething's hard. But yeah, so it was an eventful evening. But then we got up bright and early this morning, and I'm having to shake down my house sitter for some rabbit poop. They're hard to get hold of, but
you know they're in school right now.
Oh, is that why she's not answering my text? I had nightmares last night that I was still in high school, and but it was like the me of now was in high school, and I was like, no, I'm done. I'm not gonna be here anymore. And Randy was like, you have to keep going. You have to finish high school. And I was like, I did. I have my diploma. I don't have to be here. And it was just, yeah. And he wasn't hearing it. And in my dream, because I don't like fighting or even disagreeing with Randy. And he was like, you have to finish. And I was like, I love you, babe, but I'm not doing it. So we got up early and got a bunch of stuff done, and that's very good. But, I just woke up really grateful today that I'm not in high school anymore. It's been 12 years, and I'm still grateful that I'm not in high school anymore. Okay, but you didn't make any speaking notes for me, so I can't. If you guys have any questions, be sure to do the @ and then Yvonne Williams, just like how my screen name is spelled out with the same capitals and everything, and it'll highlight your question in orange, and that way Randy and I will be able to answer your questions better. Is that an azimuth? A wild azimuth appeared? What?
Oh, indeed.
Did you get any storms last night, azimuth? You're a bit farther east than we are. And we're going to go back to high school either. An introvert's version of hell. Well, I loved marching band. I loved my circle of friends. Like the social aspect of it was like, it was okay. I hated the busy work. Like, they're like, oh, just do stuff to kill time, literally kill time. And I'm like, this is wasting my precious existence. Like, I have like 10 minutes to be a teenager, and I have to spend it here with you guys like this. I'd rather be running naked in the woods. Like this, it was not my favorite way of existing, especially after being homeschooled, and I'm able to just like sit down and get my stuff done. and then kind of get on with life, busy work was the worst. And then having to like, because we had like classes of like 35, and so the teacher would have to like really repeat things quite a bit because like half the class, herding 35 cats is hard. Herding 3 cats is hard. So it's like, ugh. Oh, so glad I'm not in high school anymore. Okay. Oh goodness, Cheryl. I loaded more SMs. Right on, heavens. Hey Jennifer. Yeah, I thought I saw his screen name scroll by. Now he's not saying anything.
He said not really. If so, I slept through it.
That's fair. Yeah, Randy and I were texting all of our friends who live locally, and we're like, "Did you survive the storm?" And a lot of them were like, "What storm?" Never mind. Yeah,
Poor
that's
George
fair.
was like, I don't know. I'm at work.
Oh, really? Both of the dogs are having a hard time of it.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. I think Z's just a mess.
Yeah.
Do you want to give them treats?
No.
Because he's chewing on his butt because it's fun. So we've been shooting some more tutorials today also. So that's something that I've spent a good bit of the week on, actually, is more tutorials. So we have some more wire wrapping coming. I'm trying to find, I had shot like a bunch of stuff for my vlog and for here on the main channel, and I can't find the footage. And I'm really worried because there were like 6 to 7 videos worth of footage, and I'm like really concerned. Hey Yvette, hey Melissa. But so today I've been working on making some bracers for our upcoming, this time next week, we'll be at OzCon setting up our booth to vend for the weekend, and I'm really excited about that. But so I'm trying to get some last minute armor pieces made. So I actually just shot the video for these bad boys because I think that'll be pretty fun. Not the whole video, I still haven't set like the eyelets and stuff. So today I'm going to be doing just some more tooling and stuff on this whole stack of bracers. So I guess that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I love this little cart next to me because it lets me hoard like a little at a time, but it just gives me a little working shelf. And for anybody who wonders, this is how I do my camera setup over in the leatherworking area. I have this camera that clamps on to stuff here. I have a short petite tripod that I will often set up to catch the angle coming in like between my hands so I can like work around the tripod. I also have this one here. Ooh. The movable, bendable arm, and all of them have these little selfie stick attachments. And then I also had rummaged out, there it is, this one, but then I remembered why I don't clamp stuff to the table whenever I'm hammering, because the table shakes so badly, but I might be able to clamp it onto something else. So
oh man,
did I ever what?
Mark the end of messages?
No. Were you sending me more questions?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So let's get this flipped around. Ooh, Pittsburgh, Kansas, right on. That'll actually be the same weekend that we're in Plains. Hey, Sarah. Sarah, woo. Oops. Tightening up. Hey, Tashers. Whose pancakes? He said pancakes?
And
oh, okay. I see. Oh, man. Oh, that's cool. That'll work out. Man, I have missed a ton. No, those were from last week.
No, they were from Tuesday.
Right.
Oh, right, I forgot to show you that.
Gotcha. Okay, so Sabrina asked, can you do another how you set up your booth video? Yeah, I'll see if we can at OzCon. I think that'll be really cool.
It'll be time because we need to.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Stuff has changed. Also, come here real quick.
Okay, just a moment. I'll be right back, guys. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so I just looked at the picture on Discord because that's something over on the Discord channel, you guys. Randy's under the name Randy Vaughn, but everything like he reads me what y'all type, and he also like types for me while we're there. The end for the twisted wire bracelet. If you want like a hook and eye closure, what I would do is I would just make one end into a hook and then make another end into a loop so that they kind of do that. Or you can make both of them into a loop and add a standalone like lobster clasp or magnet clasp or something. But I would just treat it like it were one single length of wire, like single thickness of wire, rather than it being twisted. And hopefully that'll work out. Ooh, oh no, Candace. You know, honestly, I do that way more than what I should also. Okay, so today we're working with about an 8-ounce leather. And I'm just going to be spritzing it down with water. A little more water. And I'm going to be going through with our wing divider. And I'm going to bring it down to about 1/2 inch. Yeah.
Thank you for the offer, Rose. But I think because we're going to be setting up our setup a little differently and trying to get it on camera, we won't be utilizing your help for OSCON setup.
Right. Oh, that is really generous, though. But no, we're going to have a helper with us already. And I'm not really good at delegating and then also shooting footage in addition to that. I think my head's going to kind of be spinning around. But definitely stop by and say hey, though. Okay, and then whenever I'm making 2 bracers that match, because for the most part, folks have 2 arms, so I usually sell them in pairs. I try to do them both at the same time. Ooh, Yvette, you can find the class schedule panel schedule classes on the OSCON website. I know I'm doing a hands-on leatherworking class on Friday, so that'll be a lot of fun. But I didn't retain any of the other information that I had looked at, but I am doing a couple other panels. Oof, I gotta get the henna mixed up too. Okay, give me a sec. I gotta write down. Yeah, man, guys, we went and got boop, boop, boop. We went and got dirt this morning. Which, let me see. We didn't get the poop though. We just got the dirt. And I have to get the poop. And it was so nice. It's the composted leaves at the recycling center. And I'm like, yes. Oakley dokley. Also, today, I've been watching, not just today, but I've been watching a lot of Prince Armory here on YouTube. I've been following Asmal's work for years. Like, honestly, like all the way back in high school, I saw his work at like the 10 Run Fair or something, or Scarborough maybe. Or maybe I just saw him on DeviantArt, but
It was Texas.
yeah. Scarborough and 10 Run. Did I say Tennessee Run?
Yeah,
oh, I meant Texas. But gosh, like he is who inspired me to get into leatherworking, and he's recently started doing these tutorials here on YouTube, and it's blowing my mind to get to see his work. And it's just so, and he uses a ceramic blade, so I decided to try using a ceramic blade, and I'm not gonna lie, I love it.
Oh no.
Huh. What's up?
You remember the D&D campaign where people were playing this?
Yeah?
We're dead.
Oh no.
We went down fighting a dragon.
Well, that's good. Viking style funeral, I hope.
I mean, with a dragon, of course.
Yeah. Or was there nothing left to bury? Okay, so the question was, I missed who asked it, but the way that I cut these out is I actually make a 4 or 5 millimeter like Sillywinks foam, and I cut it out to the shape that I want, and then I trace that, and then I just cut it out with a box knife, and that way they're the same size. But I found it's a lot easier to trace around a oops. Well, now when that happens, I just sneak back in there. pulling a sneaky. As with, I think the convention schedule on our website is accurate mostly. We're not really doing a bunch of shows this year.
About 6.
Yep.
And then Aaron asks who you're talking about.
Who? Oh, Prince Armory. Here on YouTube. I mean, he's the bomb diggityest. But I think he recently got sponsored by Tandy, so he's going through and doing like armor videos, and his armor's top notch, you guys.
Is that the Tandy Leather Ergo Handle Swivel Knife?
It is, Aaron, and I like it if only because it's squishy, and it gives me a little bit more, because I get like a death grip. I don't mean to, I just always do. And that little bit of squish just gives, and I think I gave my older one, I think I gave that to Lauren. But the regular one isn't bad, but I did like this one. Just fits into my little hands and gives me a little bit of something to stop myself from like sliding off too.
Here's a good question for you.
What a Ooh, Mike Henna says, I am a leather armorer that has only ever made custom fit pieces. How do you manage to pre-make armor pieces to sell without having a specific wearer in mind? I can actually show you real quick. Let me go ahead and get this flipped around, because I actually have an example on hand if I don't make everybody seasick by shaking the camera a bunch. Sorry, I don't mean to cackle. But we have Ken over here wearing... everything, wearing a single spalder that we have. Okay, so the problem is with most humans is we come in such a variety of shapes and sizes as well as preferences. So getting the sizing to fit, I found it's much better to give myself way too much strapping that I can go ahead and cut back in the booth than to not have enough, because very rarely do we run into someone more petite than our mannequins, because I actually have like some that are even more petite than Ken here. And so you can see here, if I don't just twist his whole upper body off. God damn, man. Oh, I spilled scales everywhere. Oh. So I'm going to take his arm off, but you can see here on the bracer, we have it with the adjustable eyelets, and this is actually shock cord, so it stretches, which gives it a little bit more, I don't know, I think it gives it a little bit of flex whenever you're moving around. But typically, I'll make the, thanks Randy, if we used buckles or something, this would be, now beat them with it, this would be a lot more restricted in size. But if somebody sees it and they're like, oh my god, I love that, but I want it with buckles, then we'll get their measurement there at the event and then make them something specific to their measurements. And we just gotta get super weird because, you know, mannequins and stuff. Do what?
Has Barbie left Ken? Is that why he's always half naked trying to pick up guys?
Yeah. No, Ken is actually Biter Man. Okay. Now here you can see on the side we have two straps. Oh, maybe you can see. We have this strap that attaches to the front, and then we have the strap that attaches to the back. I don't make a whole lot of solid front and back pieces because honestly at conventions most folks do not have the budget and they run away screaming whenever they hear how much it's going to cost to do a full front and back. And so whenever we do those custom for people, we just go ahead and get the measurements for them, or we'll get like a standard shirt size, because if they're like a 2XL and then we get measurements on top of that, we can get a much better idea of like the coverage and stuff and like where armholes are, or at least where they're used to armholes being. But so we have it where it buckles, and the strap that it buckles to, oh Ken, oh god, your pants, buddy. Well, he's just naked now, guys.
You took his arm off.
He's fallen to pieces. But I have this little adjuster here so that we can make this shorter or longer depending on who's buying it. And we have that same adjuster piece here in the front as well. So we can shorten or lengthen this. And I try to use strapping that I can cut with the scissors that I'll have with me in the booth. We're going to have to do something about that, buddy. You can't just walk around with your corn niblets hanging out. I know. But that way I can cut it in the booth, and since it was drum dyed, I don't have to worry about... Ken is not anatomically correct, at least not for most humanoids that I've interacted with. Underneath the arm here, we have another adjustable strap. This one's just nylon, because for a lot of the larkers and stuff, you can get pretty sweaty up in your armpits, and I've just found that the nylon works better than leather. And then I have an elastic strap that goes underneath the arm. Again, all of this is stuff that I can cut in the booth, and it doesn't need, like, the tips of the leather won't need dyed, again, because it's a solid color all the way through. I don't want to have to do any extra finishing, anything. Like, I just want to be able to, like, cut a good shape and then go. So that's at least how I do the spalders. Now for our corsetry, I make it where it has removable panels on the side, and that can fit roughly anywhere from a size 0 to around a size 24. But again, especially on some plus size ladies, you know, a size 0, they might not have... Well, okay, let me say this. It's the difference between a, like, 5 foot size 6 and a 5'7" size 6. So if they try on one of our corsets and the length just isn't right, then that's whenever we do custom work for them. But well, Kelly, you know, a lot of people say that, but there are just some petite little people out there. We've worked with some ladies that, like, even a size 0 was too big on her, but she came up to, like, here on me, and I'm only 5'4", and so it's, you know, there's this stigma attached around body image, and I'm like, we design the full spectrum of beauty. It's if you have the money and the inclination, I will make you stuff, and if you don't have the money but you have the inclination, I'll teach you how. So that's
You get questions.
Right on. But that was a really good question, and that's something that honestly has took us a long time of learning curve to just figure it out, and to be okay with being like, yep, that just didn't fit. Sorry, we can do custom work. Well, thanks, Tashers. Okay, I'm gonna get this flipped back around and get back to work and answer questions. Green grass and India, right among the bushes. So... Oh, we do have more questions piling up. Cherry asked, do you have a giveaway on Tuesday? Missed the stream. Yes, today we're actually going to be giving away the earrings that I had made in Tuesday's live stream. Now, normally I would case these in the sink, but that's all the way in the kitchen, and man, I'm like really lazy, so I'm just going to spray it. So, and it works out pretty well.
How tall did you say you were?
I'm 5'4".
Okay.
Why?
People are like, man, you're tall.
Really?
What they saying?
No, I don't know. I mean, I never felt like short, except for when stuff's up high, or I'm like around Zach or something. But I don't know. I always felt like 5'4" was pretty average. But also, I'm like, whatever.
Got more questions.
They were engulfed in... Oh, aw, we got cremated together. I was half orc, half giant horse. Am I so transparent? Because that is like 100% me. I see you took out the dreads. So did you also do the henna treatment? Feel better. I did do the henna treatment, and I still have some of my dreads in, just not very many. I just basically ran out of time to put more in. So
what do you do when you have a small oops on leather?
Well, like here, I had a little bit of an oops, and usually those end up being some of my more ornate pieces. Let me go ahead and just get this. Okay. What?
Oh, you'll see.
Whoop. too far. Okay, that'll be good. One of these days, Vaughn, I'm going to commission you to make a hatch like the blue leather dragon I want. Ooh, oh, that'd be so cool, Sarah.
And that's what I laughed about.
It does take like 30 million years for me to finish any kind of custom work. I'm really sorry about that. Gosh, I wish I were better at being a professional person. So, in the meantime, until I get better at being a professional person, I'm just gonna lay the tool on here, kind of right there on the seam. And that will ease the transition now from one line into the other. Actually overshot it a little bit. But you can see it actually compresses and closes that cut. I'm going to need to blend that out just a little bit more. And so oftentimes when I mess up, like if I had messed up super bad, I'd have just moved the whole line, or I'm not above just cutting off that whole section and redoing the line. And that's a nice thing too about selling pre-made things out of the booth in addition to making custom pieces, is if ever I'm making something custom for somebody and it doesn't quite work out, I'll just sell it out of the booth. Because, you know, if people see it and they're like, see it as is, they don't necessarily know that it wasn't intended to be that way. So sorry for all the hammering ish. Not sorry enough to stop, clearly, but yeah, so I mean, it's not perfect. You can see there's a little bit of like a dip going on in there. But we can also take a modeling tool. And this is a great trick for if you're not really confident in your the clean bevel, like a bevel foot. You can come through just with a modeling spoon and blend that out a little bit. But then I just made it worse. What?
Dang you,
What happened? Okay. Can you show off the electroformed pieces you covered in latex on Tuesday? I would love to see how they came out. Yeah, Cassie, I'll do that. What do you do with the boo-boo you made? Do you hide it somehow? Yep. Just like that, Melissa. And then also, like on one of these guys, I don't even remember which one it was. Yeah, on this one, you can see it's not quite perfectly straight, but whenever it's bent around into shape, you can't even tell. So oftentimes I'll just be like, meh, nobody will notice. And then also something that we can do is, if I can find one, let's go with a super cute, oh, I like this.
How thick is that leather?
This is 8-ounce leather. So if we were taking it with a gauge, I think these are millimeters. I don't know. Or like fractions of a, no, it's got to be millimeters. Boop. This is a handy little tool to have. Yep, we're sitting square at an 8-ounce. And I have them marked off because I have one bin that's just these ounces, one bin that's these ounces, and then one bin that's those and up. And so whenever we're sorting through our scrap, I'll just take some of the guesswork out of it. But yeah, I'm just going to lay this right there on the line.
Is that real leather?
This is real leather. Real cow leather. Yeah.
How are you doing with getting ready for DragonCon?
I'm panicking. It's just, I don't know how I'm going to get anything done ever. This is just life now. How are you today? Basically, that's Dragon in a nutshell.
3 questions.
Sorry. And yeah, I also, that's not my favorite, but it ends up that way, and it's on the inside of the wrist. So again, it's more important to me that it's pretty across here than at the corner, but that's just me. This was one of the Craftsman tools that there's actually a set. There's this one, which is a half a tool, and then that one, so that you could do like, you know, kind of end to end stuff. Come on, don't be blurry. Why you gotta be that way? and it's just pretty fun. Come on, yeah. All right, on. Well, I'm really glad to be helpful to you, Christy. She said Tuesday's live stream really helped me out. You were able to give me a pep talk about my business. Thank you. I'm really glad to be helpful.
You spend too much time talking to people.
Oh, don't even, honey. No, and that's something that, I mean, we are crafting today, and I'm not doing this just because somebody said something, but I had somebody comment, and they were polite about it, that I spend too much time engaging, and not enough time crafting. And that truly is what these live streams are, is we are here to hang out. This is, yeah, it's, if you want a tutorial, please go watch a tutorial, because, you may or may not be learning much of anything in the live streams. Like, no guarantees, no promises being made. Though I do miss getting to craft in live streams like this. I feel like since I'm so bad about answering messages in a timely manner, yeah, I feel like I don't even really need to bevel this one. I can just do the cut line, and then hammering it down compresses it plenty. But since I'm so bad at answering messages, this is the perfect time. Twice a week, I can let you guys know when and where I am, and I can answer your questions. Boom. So, what leatherworking tools would you recommend for someone wanting to get into leatherworking? Honestly, that depends a lot on what you're interested in getting into. Teresa, I work with deerskin when I can get my hands on it, but it doesn't tool like this, so I usually use it as like a garment leather. But if you're looking into doing tooling, we actually, honestly, you can check out, there's a link down in the video description that will take you to my recommended shopping lists on Amazon. And it'll link you to a lot of the different tools and materials that I use. And I have like little subcategories, like leatherworking, resin casting, polymer clay, stuff. And I'm still working on them, so they're incomplete. But I'll put it on my list to get to.
Kind of weird, but okay.
What the?
Sparky's coming.
I'll go through today and try to do a little bit more of a complete, comprehensive list of the leatherworking stuff. Because most of the time, like, it didn't occur to me when I was working over on this end, but I like to be able to distribute the, the pattern evenly as much as possible. But I really like that one. Any dapping on your schedule? I sure hope so, Jim. I want to get some sheet copper. That way I can make like some bezels and stuff. And I want to experiment with making a locket. And I think I'll be using my dapping block quite a bit for making lockets. That way I can make two little domed pieces that'll, I think that'd be really cool. What I want to get into is cosplay armor and handbags. Definitely gonna want to get, probably depending on your budget, the deluxe kit from Tandy Leather has just about everything that I use in there for making thicker tooled leather pieces. But you're gonna need something to cut the leather, something to wet the leather, something to mark the leather. So whether that's a swivel knife or like a hammer or, what have you. So, right on, Aaron, I got you. Doing better now that hubby is home from hospital. Oh no, took him in Tuesday for shoulder pain and found out his kidneys were not working correctly. Holy crap, well, I'm glad his kidneys are back online.
It's weird that the kidneys made the shoulder hurt.
Yeah, well, I mean, they may have been unrelated, but if they did like blood work or something.
Yeah.
Is it hard to do leatherworking? Susan, honestly, I don't think it's not like Lamport glass is hard because you have to be patient in certain ways. Wire wrapping can be hard because you have to build up your experience with like maintaining tension and stuff. Chainmail can be hard because you have to build up that coordination and like learn the weaves and stuff. Leather is hard in, for me, everybody's different. Leather was hard for me, especially in the beginning, because it was very intimidating financially. And it was very intimidating to take something that, looks like just a big old sheet of this and turning it into, something that's wearable. So, uh, it's taking that vision completely from step one to done was the hard part with leather. Um, and so the best thing that I can recommend is to start small. Oops, hit the tripod. Um, because more than anything, whenever I'm making armor, I'll start with the bracers first because oftentimes every element that's going to be featured throughout the rest of the armor is in some way represented in the bracer, at least whenever I'm designing. So it lets me establish the texture that I'll be doing. If I'm just doing like a little border or something, it lets me experiment with attaching the baubles or horns or whatever like main motif design. If I'm going to be attaching fur, if I'm going to be doing buckles or eyelets, and if I mess up, I've only wasted this much leather. Whereas, as opposed to starting with like the big breastplate or something, that's usually the part that I'll do last because I'll have worked through all of the other kinks before getting to that point. And if you're not into bracers, well, a bracer is just a big bracelet. So trim it down to size. And again, you have, something small that it's not going to take a ton of time, materials, and energy to make it, but you'll know whether or not you want to use that stain. You'll have worked out, like here I'd done a bit and it's like, I don't need to do that beveling first. I'll just do the design around the border. Um, and you'll be able to work those things out before tackling the bigger parts of the pieces. Let me do just, oh no, there's not enough space. I didn't think ahead. Maybe I can space it out like this. Fake it till you make it. What?
2-year-old just running laps around the house. Gotta help my sanity.
Oh. Good opportunity to teach counting as well. Try to get him to count the laps. Or make him go full on CrossFit and like sit on a sled behind him with like harnessed up to the. Is that child abuse? Never mind. They do. Tandy has some excellent starter kits, Cindy. Nicole says it looks like you got over the intimidation factor with Spyro. For sure. And honestly, there was a lot of being afraid with Spyro, but you kind of get used to, I've gotten used to being afraid whenever I'm like nervous and timid and just like, ooh, whenever I'm starting a project and I just barrel right through it. It's like you gotta jump in because otherwise I'll just freeze up and be like, oh, I can't, not touching it. Oh, there's a lot of comments here. I'm gonna. Well, teach her how to count like in Spanish or something, or y'all can make up your own language.
Well,
tire them out mentally as well.
Only counting in another language is good. Counting in a made-up language, not as much.
They could always be the next Tolkien. You never know. You've been doing a lot of live streams lately. Do you have any tutorials coming out soon? By the way, just asking, I love watching your videos. Right on. We do still release a tutorial every Saturday. We do the live streams because it doesn't take any editing. And I barely have to have my shit together to do a live stream. Like I can just put the camera on. Like I really appreciate you guys being here, but we have a super low bar of expectation of what I actually get done in a live stream. So it's mostly just getting to hang out with you guys. So live streams are pretty easy to do for us because we don't have to worry about good lighting too much. It's right during the middle of the day. It's, it was in our schedule, but just being able to fit in the time to edit anymore has been, like I was saying earlier, I've got like over 6 videos backlogged now that are just waiting for me to edit them. More if I can find the file, but I'd like to start uploading Wednesdays and Saturdays pretty consistently if we can have the content. It's just a matter of kind of getting ahead a bit. I have no idea how we managed to do daily videos for so long. Like now that I'm looking back, I'm like, how did I breathe? Like, but we did split a lot of the content that we did here on the main channel was the personal vlog stuff as well, and I've transferred that over to my vlog channel because we had a couple enough people complain that well, this isn't a tutorial, why are you posting this? I'm like, well, I don't know, because I was having fun, because it's my channel and I'm out of control. No, but I did feel like I'll go ahead and split those. I was doing enough personal stuff and like fitness and gardening things um that I felt like it finally warranted its own channel. Uh, Good question though. The screen was blank. There it is. Anne asks, how did you become so proficient in so many crafts as well as acquire all the tools necessary to use in each craft at such a youthful age? And we started off also first, thank you so much for thinking that I'm proficient in a lot of things. I mostly am honestly just flailing around faking it. Um and just stumbling into learning things along the way. Randy and I started our business when back in 2008 officially is whenever we both quit our day jobs and went full time on the road doing craft shows and conventions. And I had been crafting for like a year or like a year and a half prior to that. It started off with like a little bit of like bead stringing from like Hobby Lobby, and so that's what everybody got me for like Christmas would be like Hobby Lobby grab bags or like gift cards or something. um and but we've been doing it full time since 2008, and so everything that we've purchased has been an investment into our business. And so we don't have kids, other than my college debt. We haven't really had any debt. So everything we have poured, everything, um, time, finances, everything into our business, and branching off into doing these other things that we thought might sell well. And it also catered to my endless need to like learn and try new things because I get bored pretty easily. So we had started off with like bead stringing, and well, I wanted a way to be able to put this pretty rock that I found onto a necklace. So I picked up wire wrapping, and I was like, well, I'm using these jump rings, but they're not quite heavy duty enough to attach the clasp to the rest of the necklace. And I discovered chainmail, and Randy had gotten me a chainmail kit. And fortunately, a lot of the same tools that you use for wire wrapping, like a lot of the same pliers, also worked for chainmail. A lot of the same beads that I used for bead stringing worked whenever I was learning macrame. So it was a little accumulations here and there over the past, what year is it? 11 years. Has really, and then when we started doing YouTube and y'all have started really ramping up, like you used to, I would learn like one new technique like every like year and a half maybe, and now it's like every month I'm discovering lampwork glass and torch work and metal and all of these things. I'm like, my head's spinning. I need like a time turner so I can actually do all the things that I'm like, falling in love with these new techniques, and then I have like zero time. But that's okay. This is a glorious problem to have. I love it. But yeah, and I liked making belly dance outfits because I've always been like a little oddly shaped, or at least felt oddly shaped enough that buying off the rack belly dance outfits, like they just never quite fit right or were like figure flattering. For even when I was thinner, I had a very apple frame, like just kind of, I felt stumpy. And then looking back, I was just a kid who hadn't hit puberty yet, like because I hit puberty like in my mid-20s. Like I was just a little stump nugget until. Do what?
You were 20.
I was 20 when I finally started to look like a female. Prior to that, I just looked kind of like a chubby third grade boy. Was my physique all through high school. I know. So apparently that's Randy's taste, and I don't know. He likes me. That works out. Anyways, what was I talking? Gosh, man, I really got off the topic on that one.
Yeah, it's almost like they keep piling up.
What? No, hey, I'm trying to do the things. Yeah. So that, I hope that answered your question. Susan asks, how many mistakes did you do? LOL, I am a slow learner. I make mistakes on basically everything all of the time. That's what I was saying. Thank you. You reminded me, Patricia. She said my late mother took up belly dancing after she retired. She loved the Y. Right on. And that's with belly dancing, I started making my own costumes, which lent itself to chainmail because I would make like the chainmail bikini tops and the hip belts and stuff. And that's what took me into leatherworking, because instead of making the chainmail belt base, I had started just buying old belts from like Goodwill and punching holes in them and stuff. And then we started just cutting our own leather and kind of got into that, and just also being in the convention scene and like learning more about costumes and stuff. And I grew up going to the Ren fairs and everything.
Your shoulder.
My shoulder?
Oh.
I don't think I have anything wrong with my shoulder. I mean, I'm pretty good. The holes got cut out of my shirt, but I bought it that way. So I don't think there's anything wrong with my shoulders. What? Okay.
Your shoulders. Oh, it's a t-shirt.
Oh,
yeah, you should get rid of that.
Yeah, you should fix that. Excuse me. Sidra asks, is crafting your only means of making a living? Yes.
Yes and no.
But we are full-time YouTubers. Both Randy and I have 2 channels. He has his gaming channel. So we're making stuff on that. It's for the longest time, and I'd recommend this to anybody with their own business, is what's worked out for Randy and I has been diversification, because for the longest time, we just had doing craft shows and conventions, and I felt like we only had one leg to stand on. And granted, our backup was like, we'll go get day jobs, because I'm not gonna lie, there at the beginning, flipping burgers would have been making us more money than doing craft shows and stuff. But we were like, we're young, we have no obligations to anybody. Now is the time to do this. Before it, I've always anticipated having health problems, just because I take after my dad, and he had his first stroke, I think, when he was 24. So I did not expect to be long for this world. I was like, no, I'm probably gonna die like any day now, so I need to live my dreams now. I just brain farted again. It's gone. What were we talking about? Yeah, I just went full derp. Yeah, crafting. Nope, yep, I lost it. That's all I got. Shows were our one leg to stand on, and so we started doing an online store also, and that generated a little bit of sales, but it supplemented our main income of being on the road, going to like conventions and stuff, because we did almost exclusively craft shows for like a year, from like spring through fall. And then fortunately we did find out about conventions, which are great because it doesn't matter if it's hot, it doesn't matter if it's raining, it's inside in a hotel, and it's great. Climate control is like the best thing ever. And then so online sales would kind of supplement that a little bit. We'd have like a Christmas rush, and that would be about it. But it also gave us a place to converse and interact with clients that we would make at conventions, like people who would see our work and then come back to buy later. And then now we're only doing like 6 shows this year. We used to do over 30. But that was just way too much traveling. Do what, love?
So that just answered that question.
Oh, really? And then, come on, focus. What was I saying? We used to do over 30 shows. This year we're only doing 6, but that's because we've been amazingly successful because of y'all on Patreon. And so we do this like monthly subscription craft along kit where we make a bunch of cabochons and like out of polymer clay and resin, and we send those and some charms and some wire to go along to accompany our videos that we make. That way you can craft along with us with the same materials and supplies that we're using in the videos. And it's just kind of a fun way to for folks who wanted to support the channel. But that's grown beyond our wildest expectation. Making videos here on YouTube has been working out really well. And then we're also Amazon affiliates, which I don't make pliers. Like I'm not getting into that, and I don't want to do resale because I feel like that just adds a middleman. And so we can make affiliate links for y'all to go buy stuff on Amazon. And even if you just follow the link but don't buy the thing that we linked to, it's still, we get like a couple of pennies, but every little bit. And that's what we've really felt like has helped us to be successful beyond our wildest dream. Like we can actually like pay our bills on time most of the time, and like buy beads and things. Is just putting out thimbles in a rainstorm. You put out thimble here, thimble, 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 and every once in a while, one of our videos, like Adam Savage had shared our Dragon Eye of Sauron video, which I think is one of them that brought a lot of y'all here to the channel. And I was super grateful that a lot of you stuck around. But that was an unexpected huge boon, and helped our channel grow. But we don't really make more money on YouTube now, at over 100,000 subscribers than what we did at 10,000. And I don't really understand that because I thought like that there would be like continual growth, but there wasn't. And so we were like, okay, but it made us really glad that we were planting all these seeds and putting out all these little yeah, Mikio was here before Adam Savage. Loyal for life. uh Planting all these little seeds, putting out all these different little thimbles really helped, whenever sometimes a thimble will become a swimming pool or a bucket, and sometimes the thimble just doesn't catch anything. So, right? And that's a lot of y'all have been very long time viewers, and like I consider most of y'all, I mean, close friends now. It's really great that y'all have been so just yourselves and awesome. So, okay. Man, I rambled on that one too. Boop, boop, boop. Ah! Handy says, loved your Dragon Eye tutorial, or a Dragon Eye of Sauron tutorial. Thank you. And you have the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. Well, thank you. I'm getting an eye exam tomorrow so that I'll be and look like this at y'all. And then I think, I haven't talked to Randy about it yet, but I need to get new frames and lenses. But I was thinking about joining the Cat Eye Glass Club because so many of the fantastic people in my life have like the little cat eye frames. I don't know. I've stuck with
what looks best on your face.
Yeah, we'll get what looks best on me. But I've been wearing this same frame style for ages, and I just kind of want some like ridiculous Elton John glasses, but I probably shouldn't do that. What? Like, have you rehended your hair? Or is it just the blue shirt accentuating the color? I rehended it. I was really happy with how it came out, and it's so much softer now, and like the curls and stuff. I just showered right before the live stream, so it's all still wet. I've got it like pinned back out of my face. What did you call that tool you use to mark the edges around the edges of the leather? That is a wing divider. Some people call it a compass, but it has this little, like, to me, a compass has where it measures right here. This just, you just unscrew it, and then I just measure with like a ruler on the end. Very useful tool, like so much. How many conventions and shows do you do a year? This year we're only doing 6, but in the past we had done over 30. Like usually it was like 25 to 30 or more. But gosh, that was just so much traveling. Christy asks, how do you find out how to become a vendor for conventions? Most conventions nowadays, if you go to their website, they'll have a tab up across the top that will say like exhibitors, or they might have like a more info. Some of them you have to dig a little bit. They're all set up a little differently, but more often than not, they'll have some tab that you can go to and submit an application. Like they'll have it all written out and you put in all your info. So if you can't find that though, just there's usually like a contact us info, or you can contact their Facebook page. A lot of them you can send a message on their Facebook page and be like, hey, I'm interested in being a vendor, can you please point me in the right direction? And if they don't get back to you, or if they don't have something, then that's usually a little bit of an indicator that they might not have all their ducks in a row. And while I love being supportive of new and up and coming conventions, sometimes a good business move to not vend them. Maybe go as an attendee if it's like local enough or if you're inclined. But that's usually an indicator to me that it's like if they can, because that's a huge money source for the conventions is the vendor fees and stuff. And I'm like, if they don't have that lined up to where I as a vendor can easily give them, the coordinators, money, then they might not have their marketing lined up very well. They might not have their online registration be easy to use for potential attendees. So it's a little bit of an indicator. um yeah, yeah, Laura, it's a completely different climate in the convention scene nowadays than what it does. Like Randy and I started doing conventions right as steampunk was really getting big, like right before it became like mainstream and Hobby Lobby started having stuff that was steampunk. But it was like everybody, like they were, people were just starting to put on, and I'm sure that it was around before this, but it was riding a wave. Like it was before the Golden Compass came out and like some other movies that like had that kind of aesthetic. Shortly before, oh, Abney Park became a band, or at least got popular. So how to start wire wrapping? What size wire should I use to wrap the larger wire with? The two wire sizes that I recommend the most to folks are 18 gauge for your core wire and 26 or 28 gauge for the thinner wire. I personally found the 28 a little bit easier to work with because it's like thinner and it's not quite so hard on my fingers. How do you pick which shows you choose to go to? A lot of it depends on when we're picking a new show, it depends on how far away it is, how much they're charging for the booth fee, and whether or not we have anything else planned for that weekend, honestly. And then it's a huge gambling. Like, I don't ever go to casinos. Randy buys lottery tickets when we get gas, but
only when it's in like
only when it's like super big. Because we're like, I'll throw $1 at that. But we don't gamble except for with our livelihood. Every convention that we do is a gamble. Even shows that we've done for a decade now, we're still like, I hope it works out. Like it could always be a bad year. Giveaway, right? Yvette asks, have you considered traveling further just to compete in a larger market to get your name out there, like say San Diego Comic-Con? We've considered it. And this is gonna sound like, I really don't want to sound like a jerk. But like, I don't know how folks are gonna take this, but I'm not really worried about getting our name out there. Like, to me, the numbers aren't important. The subscribers, the views, it's like that's not why I'm here. Like that's not a. Now don't get me wrong, I was thrilled like whenever we hit 10,000 subs and then 50,000 and then 100,000. I'm like, what is this? And it is something that I do keep an eye on because we have to like stay aware of what's going on. And whenever we're in conventions to go and teach, we will like bring our numbers up and be like, okay, so this is, these are our analytics of like how many people view our stuff in your region, and like this is, and from a business perspective we keep an eye on it, but from a personal perspective, I just want to come here and have fun with you guys. I don't want to go and deal with the crowds at San Diego to try to be like, I'm not looking to be Insta famous or YouTube famous or anything like that, or be like, this is how many views I got today. Like, I want to come and I want to help you guys. Anybody who has, even an iota of interest in making things or making a living at making things or anything like that, if I can help you make this any easier, any more sustainable, any smoother than what it was for Randy and I when we were starting out, then mission accomplished. Like that's the goal is to do that, because it's we Randy and I got really, really lucky, and we had a lot of people who were there for us that kind of helped us along the way, and not everybody gets that. We've seen people in the convention circuit, in the craft show circuit, and here online who they're more talented than Randy and I, they're harder workers than Randy and I, and in every conceivable way they're doing everything right, but things just don't work out. And I'm like, that's rough. That's really rough. So What's that? Did I just miss? I'm still waiting for my craft crate, says Lisa. Did you take note of that, Randy?
Huh?
Lisa said she's still waiting for a craft crate.
No, I didn't take note of that.
We shipped them out on Monday, so they should be arriving hopefully soon. Yeah, that's Patreon update real quick before we ship on the 15th of every month now. If you live in the continental US, I strongly recommend signing up for USPS has a free service called Informed Delivery, and they'll give you email updates of anytime anybody ships something to you. Like whenever it gets scanned in to your address, like to be shipping to your address, you'll get email updates, and that way, you know, you can like stay up to date. Because unfortunately, on Patreon, we don't have a way to be able to just easily and conveniently like just put in tracking info. So hopefully, if in a couple of days, Lisa, if it still hasn't shown up, like I think Randy's taken note of it, we'll look up and make sure that we did actually send one out. But yeah, keep an eye on your Patreon inboxes, everybody who is expecting a craft crate, because if you were in our no reward tier, like from back in like February, we will have sent you a message being like, hey, you're in the no reward tier, because some people are signed up intentionally, and I'm like, just in case you're not, please go in and switch that around, and then let us know. That way we can get it taken care of. Oh, that's so cool. Sarah says I have that, and I get an email every day about what I'm getting in the mail that day. That's fantastic. Nicole says maybe those folks are working harder, but you guys are working smarter. Hard to decide what works at times. It's hard to go wrong with hard work, though. I'm just going to say, because there have been times that we've just been pushing our heads against a wall, and there's a smarter way about it, but this is what's happening. Beep boop. Do, 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 do. Hey, Nina, how's it going?
Okay.
What's up, babe?
I'm just trying to look into the Patreon, and it's like, hey, we got new updates coming out.
Oh boy.
Like, just stop.
I know. My craft crate came today, and I do have the USPS tracking for packages. I get emails every day with pictures of the mail I'm getting. Diane, great. It's so good to hear that that's actually working out. Not good. Oh no, Nina, what's up? Okay, so let's go ahead and do the. Ooh, Vicky says I bought a grab bag of wire from the Ring Lord and received lots of stainless steel wire. Do you have suggestions on how I can use stainless steel? Honestly, we've used it for making rings before, but I found in wire wrapping that it has a lot of spring back. And so it's not, I don't know, experiment with it and see what's up. Like I'd try making some spirals and stuff, because you could try making them really tight, but then they'll spring out into a nice like loose organic. It hammers pretty well, and I use it most for ear wires. So, yep. Susan. Okay. So give me just a sec. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab the earrings that we're doing in today's giveaway. Actually,
Are we giving away Callie?
huh?
Are we giving away Callie?
No, we're not giving away Callie.
Right.
Though she did get fur all over the earrings. I think I'm actually just going to take the tripod in there and show the electroformed pieces that. Okay, so these are the earrings that were given away today. So if you guys would like to participate in our giveaway, be sure to have left a comment on Tuesday's live stream from this past Tuesday. Getting the tripod sorted.
Looks like you reached the USPS Regional Distribution Factory in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay, so Lisa, your package is on the way. Thank you for your patience and for your support. Yeah.
Went from
These are about the
89
boys.
to 94.
Ooh, nice. Okay, we're clicking the button. We go to commentpicker.com/YouTube, put in the link for the video, and then click pick. No, keep driving. Inspired by Mama. Just in case I forget. Hi. Well, congratulations, inspired by Mama. Send me an email with your shipping information and I will get these shipped off to you. And everybody who's won in like the past month, we still haven't shipped your giveaway yet. We're waiting for money to go through for stamps.com. So we're going to be getting that kind of filed away and everybody's shipment shipped. But we should be pretty good. So
in case you forgot.
Hi. But I'm going to give you those.
Eye again?
Yeah, you did. I'm going to give you those. Well, so you can take the picture.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
All right, let's grab the coffee and go into the other room.
I don't want these.
I don't want this. What this? But yeah, sorry as I meander through the house. Okay, so electroforming project we've had on the table include, but are not limited to, we got another big leaf done, which I'm really excited about.
Inspired by Mama one.
Inspired by Mama. So I really like this one. I had a lot of fun patinaing stuff yesterday. Garnets. Oh, I don't know. Setting them in resin might be really pretty. So this is one of the electroformed pieces that we had peeled the latex off of. Because I don't have too many others. Ooh, this was one that we had painted up the latex on and then peeled off with the ammonite. Oh, the ammonite clay rings. Let's see. This is one of them here. And I love it because even sending it through the tumbler, the latex protected the surface. Well, thanks, Diane. But yeah, I really love that. Like, jewelry makes me feel so extra. But I'm really pleased with that one. It still came out a little large on me, but that's good. I was really excited about this bad boy. Some hippie symbols. And amazingly durable too. That's really impressive. There it is. And now also christened by cat fur. Reading the comment, but I know you have such a small screen. Oh, where's the comment, Melissa? Oops. I did the @Yvonne Williams wrong up in my comment. Oh no. If you could go ahead and repeat the comment. Is the ring going up on your Etsy? I don't know, maybe. It's right. Oh, I plated a lizard. How did you get it to stay still? Have my e-forming tank set up, but still not made a thing after a week of having it. I need inspiration. Honestly, I just started dunking metal charms. Like, because that's what this was, is it started off looking like this, and I just plated it. I was like, I gotta plate things. And I really liked, because it took it from feeling kind of like a cheap, or at least mass-produced zinc-plated charm, and now it has the nice weight of copper. It has like a nice patinaing on it. You can't really tell because the camera like washes everything out. We also, this is another one that I'd plated a little bit and then it didn't plate there around the edge, so I put in a little bit more graphite. But this is what they look like before I tumble and polish. And this is actually a little gemstone with latex on it. So straight out of the electroformer, like, and then left on the desk overnight. And then that. You've just given me an idea. Right on. Do you ever make your own polymer clay buttons for things and stuff? I've made them for like earrings to make it look like I made button earrings. Right? So this was jewelry from over on Instagram. I've been sending a ton of people your way. Ah, right on. Well, thank you. That's fantastic. I actually follow you. Oh, aw. Well, thanks, Aaron. Honestly, y'all have inspired me a lot. Just keep the passion uh, of liking to make things in our work, because after like 8 years of being on the road, and yeah, if you could leave it, actually just send me an email at backtoearthcreations at yahoo.com, because I have like a folder that I move them over to, that way I can actually like keep it organized. That would be perfect. I'm so glad that you won. Oh. But yeah, you guys have got to check out Melissa on Melissa Wood Jewelry on Instagram. She really does some awe-inspiring work. It's top notch for sure. But that's, a lot of y'all have like, it's, I'll see you guys, like I've watched a lot of you actually go from being brand new wire wrappers to now I'm like looking at your stuff like low key jealous, being like, you do what I do but better. And so I have to be like, nope, don't be that way. But after 8 years of being on the road, and I much of the time struggling to keep our bills paid, I was not able to pay off my student loan debt. Like we were barely keeping our heads above the water. Like there were a couple of years that we did good. Like we were hopeful that it would keep doing good and possibly even do better. But then it just took a turn for the worse, and we did like 30 some odd shows, and we didn't have any money at the end, like at the end of a 9 week stint. And I know I keep bringing that up, but it was like there is nothing like being on the road for 9 weeks and feeling this just pit of dread that we could have just stayed home. Like that was hard. And we were like, oh God, we're failing. And to just be so preoccupied and focused on just, well, thanks, Lawrence Evans. Thank you so much. Y'all want to see a cat in a box? Hey, Callie. What are you even doing? Hey, Ember. But we were so focused on just trying to. There you are. We were so focused on just trying to keep bills paid that it became a lot less about enjoying what we were doing and just desperately trying to keep functioning. Well, worst cats in the box ever. And it's just, well, she found the box that Holly sent. But what I'm trying to say is y'all had helped me and helped me still keep the joy in what we're doing. And that means a lot to me. Are you just tearing up Holly's wrapping paper? What you doing, little bit? You got eye boogers for days. Ow, that's attached, you goober. Oh, hey, Sam. Well, I'm gonna go hang out with my pets because they're dorks. Oh, I do? Okay. Back to the other room. So, yeah. I thought it was gonna be just a minute. I think I gotta go to the bathroom.
Take the questions on the phone.
I am not taking them to the bathroom with me. Like, we're friends, but I don't think they're ready for that level of friendship. And I'm not talking about watching me go to the bathroom. I'm talking about seeing my bathroom. It is a nightmare. Okay, we're doing a last wave of answering questions, and then I'm gonna go take a trip to the pool. How long after you got an Etsy account was it before you made your first sale? Like a year. But I was also and still am also not good at using the internet. Like I try to be consistent about uploading like to Instagram and my Facebooks and stuff so I can best utilize their analytics and stay like relevant or something. But that's some soul crushing crap. Like, I don't want to have to constantly be on my toes about, oh, I gotta do marketing and gotta do la 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 and stuff. So I try to post like once a week now, and that does directly affect our Etsy sales, and it does directly affect, um, like the response and exposure that our posts get. But it's like posting every day gets really, it feels spammy, and I don't get a day off, from engaging with comments and like trying to like, stuff. So it's like I like posting something when I'm excited about it and then engaging from there. um Ooh, right on. Ooh, a 10-minute long Instagram video. That might be pretty cool. I'll have to try that out. What do you think that stretchy European 6-in-1 could be accomplished with the EPDM rings in? Yes, the 16 gauge 1/4 inch and 18 gauge 1/4 inch. Yeah, I think you could do that.
I was this many years old when I figured out IGTV meant for Instagram TV.
Oh, honey. Is there a deadline to let you know about winning before you put stuff into inventory?
Which I thought was a really interesting concept.
That is a really good concept. Like 3 months
have gone by, and
yeah,
they like sell it on Etsy for like super cheap to cover shipping to everyone else.
No, I'll probably just put it in the booth.
Yeah, okay.
Because we always need booth inventory, or I'll make something out of it. Diane, I don't know. Like, I need to do an Etsy update. I was trying to do weekly Etsy updates on Mondays, but I'll do one tomorrow. How does that sound? I'll put like 5 things up for sale on Etsy tomorrow. I think that'll be good, actually. Can you electroplate chainmail ring or bracelet? You can. You're gonna lose a lot of the mobility, because it'll make it like rigid. I actually would recommend electroforming or electroplating the pieces first and then weaving with them. And it's like you could electroplate. There are some metals that just don't electroplate well. And you'll have to kind of figure that out from there. To kind of see, like, aluminum, even though it is conductive, the copper just doesn't stick to it. Like, I'm not a scientist. I'm not sure why that happens, but if it's very hard to work with and stiff, Susan, those work really well for clasps and for ear hooks, like things where you don't want a lot of movement going on. Have you ever been to the Scarborough Fair in Waxahachie? Yes, I have. They're in Texas. Waxahachie?
There you go.
Okay. I can say it as long as I'm not picturing the word. But that was actually the Ren Fair that every year in high school we would go to Scarborough a couple times, and actually, gosh, one of my old friends actually works in staff or as one of the actresses now.
Yeah, is she in the fairy court?
I'm not entirely positive. I'm a bad friend in that way for sure, but I was really proud of her because she's one of the people who inspired me to get into costumes and stuff, and she's amazing at everything she puts her hands on. Like, she's just an all-around awesome person, and I was really proud for her because she's wanted that for so long, and I'm excited about that for her. But
yeah, we'll need to look
it's been
into
years.
It, see what she does, and then send a bunch of people her way.
Yeah, well, she's not allowed to like engage like outside of character,
right?
Being on staff, but people could still come by and be like, "We heard about you on the list or something."
On the magic box.
On the magic internet box.
Right?
Okay, I'm gonna go. It's been a minute. I really have to pee. But I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and for everything, and just keep being your awesome selves, because y'all inspire me every day. Do what?
Real quick.
Okay.
Christina.
Uh-huh.
No. Gwen. Both. Okay, that's about it.
Okay. I love you guys. Happy crafting. Mwah. Bye. Also, Randy is probably going to be hanging out in Discord for like the next 20 minutes. So y'all can go over and so we can chat with him a bit. If anybody okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. I love you. Bye. Go to Discord.